Had one question, but I just want to start off by saying thank you guys so much. I just finally closed that deal I've been working on for 5-6 months. The
Finally.
probate, yeah, dude, the probate foreclosure that took forever. But I just can't thank you guys enough because my whole mindset and perspective has changed for what I thought was possible for myself. And for those of you that are watching the live and who will watch the recording later, just do what Rick and Zach tell you to do. Eventually, you will win. You'll have some setbacks here and there, and that's what they're here for, to answer your questions. But it's inevitable. You will win. You just have to put in the work. But anyway, the proof is in the pudding. So I already cashed it in.
Woo!
Right there, $50,000.
Wow, gosh, that's a lot of money.
Woo! Dude, that was my very first deal, and there was so many twists and turns, and it was difficult to navigate. But I learned so much from it, and I have the confidence now going after other stuff.
So just to let you know, all deals, everybody thinks it's like a straight line. And once you understand there's valleys and there's peaks, and our whole thing is let's throw 10 deals on the board and let's see how many we can get across the finish line. Very rarely do I ever get 100%. So people shooting for 100%, it only means you got one deal. And that's fine because you learn. And the idea is you just keep solving problems and keep going forward. But that one deal, even though it cost you 5 months, going forward, it's giving you the strength and the confidence to get through deals going forward.
It's a $10,000 deal for 5 months straight, though.
Yeah. And you do it. So now you try to get 3 to 5 on the board and get more than half of those at the finish line. And it just adds up. And before you know it, you've seen every situation when it pops up, like, okay, I go to this lawyer. He knows what to do. Guys, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a title person. I just know who to give it to when the problem pops up. And then I just keep head hunting motivated sellers. So the people that want to solve every problem themselves, you'll never get anywhere in this business. So it's like, hey, there's a problem with the title of the probate. Oh, hey, where's the title person? Where's the lawyer? And I just keep going. And it's like, it's frustrating, man. But I've been doing this 20 years. If you don't have problems on your plate about closings, you're not doing wholesaling. All we do is solve problems. And you just get very proficient in doing it after a while. I'm like, okay, what takes me 5 months, now I can get it done in 3 months. And then you'll get some that just go like really simple. And when they do, it's a gift. I tell them all the time, I go, that's a gift. Just throw it under the tree. Let's go to the next one. And these other ones, like you have, their fights. I've had deals where I fought over 4 years. Why? Because I'm already in the game. And honestly, if I told you you could plant $1 today, and at the end of the year, you can get 10 grand, would you plant that dollar? The answer is overwhelming yes. So just keep going. Congratulations. And it's, now it's not a coincidence you did that. And now you just keep setting it up. And now you've seen a lot with this stuff. You've seen what lawyers do. You see what the motivated sellers do. So it's fun, man. Like I look at wholesaling as kind of like of a sport. And if you look at it like that, it's fun. Money is just money. It's just a fun way to keep the score.
Right. So, and I think that the most that I got out of it was just helping the sellers, because they were just in such a bad situation, and it just
they were lost, right?
Yeah. It just makes me feel good that I was able to solve it for them. You know what I mean? Because they were going to lose the house and get nothing for it. You know what I mean? So
and a realtor couldn't probably help them with their problem, right?
No, I mean, this house was in very bad shape. It needed excess over 50 grand worth of work.
And so when I give you guys the comment where I say, sometimes you need to help the seller get out of their own way, this is probably the prime example, because they don't know how to do it. Mm-hmm. You don't quite know how to do it, but you have enough resource to go, okay, I talked to this person. I'm just going to solve this problem. I have a dilapidated house. They want to get rid of it. We have a foreclosure. So I'm going to put a title company, a lawyer, and then I'm going to talk to Rick and Zach, and I'm just going to find a way to get through it. And honestly, it's that will and the grit that makes the difference on wholesalers succeeding, because usually the first one, it just seems like Mount Everest to go over it. And when you get over it, you're like, oh, crap, man, if I can get over that, I can get through anything. And congrats, dude. 50 grand goes like a long way. Yeah. And sometimes you hit home runs, and sometimes it's okay to take a single or a double. Some of you guys taking $3,000 and $5,000 deals, there's no shame in that. I don't know who said you have to make 10 grand on every deal. I didn't make 10 grand on every deal when I started. Shoot, if I made a grand or two every now and then, I was like, look what I just did.
Well, Benji, you know what? I always say it. I'm like, all right, if one person can listen to what I say, they can make it run, right? And at least you listen to what I had to say, right? They're like, okay, I live in Florida. Zach is in Florida. Rick and Zach make a lot of money on probates in Florida. Maybe I should try doing that. And now you have a $50,000 check in your hand because you listen to what we said, right? It just, how many one-on-one calls do you think we did to get this deal closed?
It was about 3 to 4.
It was about 3 to 4, right? Like it was like it was a lot of hand holding, but like the thing is, you had a probate expert for free hopping on, helping out every which way of the way. And I bet that helped you out a lot with the confidence getting through that. And
yeah, for sure.
I'm telling you that, like, if anybody has a problem, we're here to help. And those 3 to 4 calls, really, it's amazing, right? And kind of like what you said before, like, right, you work out, right? You know what it takes to get, like, strong. For everybody watching this, it's like working out. If you eat 150 grams of protein a day and you work out 5 hours a week of like just standard exercises, it's almost impossible not to get stronger, right? Like, you can complain all day,
except
but
for
like
the holiday cookies.
no, you still get stronger if you do what you have to do.
My
and
favorite.
if you pull the probates every day with the scripts we say every single month, you'll get a deal.
So Benji, do you have to take a high priced wholesaling course to make 50 grand? Yes or no?
Absolutely not.
So all these gurus tell you if you don't have skin in the game, you're not going to figure it out. Guys, you guys are paying them $5-10 grand to make like little $5,000-$10,000 checks. Or if I've always told you, just jump straight to the probates. They're far and few between. If you just do 2 probates a year, which is easy, you can make, in my opinion, $50,000 to $75,000 in this business. So don't stop doing probates. They're slow. You could do them in your sleep. You could have 3 other jobs and do probates. I swear to you, it's not that hard. And then when you get them, you bring other people to solve them. So if you can make 50 to 75K just doing that, imagine if you applied yourself like full-time doing it. Guys, it's like endless. I get so tired of the argument. I don't have skin in the game. No, listen, I just want to help as many people as I humanly possibly can, because here's the secret. If you paid a guru that had little to no experience in probate, they probably wouldn't have got you to the finish line. It's just the truth. That's why there's a 95% failure ratio. My teaching, Zach's teaching, is like just grit and get through it. So we didn't give you like super precise instructions on the probate. Like, listen, just try this, try that. Reach out to your title company if you got a probate lawyer, and just keep trying to solve the problem and keep your seller engaged.
Did you have to pay a probate lawyer? Did you have to like pay all this money out? No, it seems complicated when you're first starting, but like going through the process, you're like, well, it's not that complicated. Like, it just, right? You just get through it and you got paid in proportion to the problem you solved. You feel good because you solved a big problem. And because it was a big problem, you got paid in proportion to that problem.
Right.
And it's amazing, man.
Most people starting out, they're like, well, this is too complicated. I need to just go find a regular deal and make it fast. A lot of the guru mentorship is to get you a deal super fast and get you off their radar. Wholesaling doesn't work that way. Some of you guys are going to take a year to get a deal done. It's just, that's the way you work. I can't change that. If the faster you fail, the quicker you're going to make money in wholesaling. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. You have just got to start saying yes to people and start committing to the process and start engaging these uncomfortable conversations and just get through them. Probate, I found it by accident, and I'm glad I've spread the message. So you're doing awesome, man. What can we help you out with? Because now you're on a whole different level and you watch what's going to happen in 2023.
Yeah. So I got another deal locked up in West Melbourne. It's a divorce situation. So I just wanted your guys' opinion from your own experience. When someone needs to stay in the property after close, what do you do? Or how would you write up the terms on that based off of your experience?
Pretty easy. We just hold back money.
It's just you're going to do a post lease. How long do they want to stay in it for?
The wife needs a week. So
that's easy, man.
Yeah. So
you
just
do this at the closing. You do a post occupancy agreement from the title company. And basically what you do is, if they're getting 100 grand, just say, hey, we're getting you both 40K, 40K, 80K. And then y'all both are going to actually give the guy 50 and give the wife 40, and she gets the 10 when she moves out in a week. If she doesn't move out in a month, she doesn't keep the money and the proceeds go to the buyer.
And if they hesitate to sign that, it means she ain't staying there.
She's staying there for free too. It's like,
and
she has 10,000 reasons to get out of the house.
Yeah.
And you still get paid at closing.
And your title company will put that together. They're kind of used to it. So just make sure whatever you verbally agree, you put it in writing. And
between you and me, here's what I do though. Mr. Seller, because you have to stay in there some extra time, we're going to have to probably knock off the price a couple grand, but that's just because, there's some risks involved in that. But, because we can do that, or if you want to like make it at the end, she's like hesitating at 120 and she's at 130, you know what, at 120, you can stay in there for at least a month. We'll do it. My partner's going to kill me on this, but we'll do it. You can now offer that, because now you know it's actually not that complicated.
And make sure you have permission to market the property and do the stuff you want while you're waiting for her to get out of there, if that's your plan.
Right. So yeah, because I gave him a call yesterday because he didn't tell me that when we signed that she would need an extra week, and then he called me again saying that she will. So, but we're gonna try to get her lined up for an apartment. That way she can be out the day of close, and then if she can't do that, then I got to work something out with him with a post-occupancy agreement.
Yeah. So just be careful with you trying to provide housing. Number one, it's tricky in Florida. It ain't easy.
Yeah. Well, I'm leaving that up to them. So
because the minute you do it, if you fail, you can screw up your entire deal. Always try to focus on the real estate, and keep in mind, dude, I'm terrible at like these divorce things because are there any kids involved?
There's 3 kids. So he's done with the house. As soon as he gets the money, he's out. The wife and the kids have to find a place. So.
Remember, most people get divorced because of poor communication, and just understanding us men are terrible. You're probably only going to get half the picture. So it's like when you start getting yelled at by her, he didn't tell you this and that. Don't have her associate your alliance with him. When she's in there, you have to start leaning towards winning her over because you're going to need her cooperation. Number 2 is like, what's your exit plan when you are you going to sell the property with her in it, or like what's the plan?
That's what I think I'm going to have to do. If they can't get her out the day of close, then it's going to have to be that situation where she's in it after it's sold.
Listen, I got to tell you, most cash buyers, they have somebody out in a week's like an easy deal for them. When you tell them like a month, 2 or 3 months, that's when they're like, dude, call me.
Yeah, that's way too much.
And just make sure you have the ability to do what you need to do within like that first week to get it done. But guys, it's common to sell properties with tenants in it. When you have the owners, it's a little bit like dicier of a situation. Just make sure if the agreement is a week, it's going to be done in a week. Or you got if not, I got to keep the minimum you keep in there is usually $5 to $10 grand for like a post-op deal, because it's painful. Because if you have to evict her and stuff, by the way, to evict the current owner of the property is much more complicated than a regular eviction. It could take you 3 months to get her out of there. That's why I always say 10 grand, because by the time you pay the lawyer fees and stuff, and what if the property drops even more in value? So just pay attention to it. Divorce is the challenging one, because you get one highly cooperative party, and then you get one that's like, I'll deal with you, but I'm not crazy about you.
Yeah. Well, when I was there, I think they were both pretty much on board. So I'm kind of thankful. They seemed on par because they both wanted to get rid of the house. So, but with the 10 to 15 holdback, would you recommend like $100 per day per diem coming out of that withholding until they're out? Or
no, it's real simple. You don't cooperate, you sacrifice the money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now listen, you can always change it, but if the pain's up front and it's built in and they sign it, it shows their intention. Yeah. So you always want to look at people's intention when money's on the line, because it'll be snuffed out instantly. It doesn't mean like if she stayed, we have people all the time say 2 or 3 days over the deadline. We're just like, move, get your butt out of there. Like that was the plan. Otherwise I got to move on to plan B. And if I got to hire a lawyer and stuff, I'm just going to give him the 10 grand. So I always tell them, do you want the 10 grand or should I just give it to the lawyer?
Right.
If they wait a couple days, just give them their money and move on with your life. And then if there's damage to the property, then you can take it off from there. But if you write it to where it's all or nothing, it'll snuff out their intent up front. If you start prorating it, someone might start doing math in their head. And they're like, you know what? This isn't a bad deal, because a hotel room is going to cost them $250 a night.
Right.
They go, well, Benji's giving me $100 a night. It's not a bad deal. So no taxes, stuff like that. So
don't get in the housing.
Yeah. And then you can give back if there are 2 or 3 days over, if you just want to give back the whole 10 grand, which is probably the right way to do it. But the problem is 2 to 3 days turn to 2 and 3 weeks. That's when you got to go, okay, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate everything.
Appreciate it. Let me know if you need help with anything else.
Appreciate it, man. Take care.